Hi, I'm Jim.
I'm Mark.
And we have over 65 years of bushfire fighting experience between us.
We've partnered with Youi to help people prepare for bushfire season.
And why not think so? But bushfires can be a threat to suburban homes. The main threat to suburban homes is ember attack. There's two main types of embers. There's a long ember attack, which can be from fires up to 30 kilometres away, and there's a short ember attack, which could be a very close bushfire within 500 metres where you get a severe ember attack.
Embers were a major issue in the Canberra bushfires, where many suburban houses were impacted by ember attack. You need to identify if you're in a bushfire-prone zone, and if you are, you need to prepare your bushfire survival plan. You can identify if your house is in a bushfire-prone zone by looking at your local council or your local fire service.
Once you've identified if you're in a bushfire-prone zone, you need to develop a bushfire survival plan. That bushfire survival plan will have triggers about when you should leave. Those triggers would include there's a fire near you, or the fire danger rating has gone to extreme or catastrophic. That will depend on your family situation. Most fire services now have websites or apps where you can develop your bushfire survival plan online or on your phone. You put in your details, where you live, your family situation, the conditions around, and it will tell you what trigger you should have to leave. And you should also have your evacuation kit ready to go. This means including such things in your kit as important documents, valuables, torch, battery-powered radio, woolen blankets, plenty of food and water for the journey. Another thing you can do is keep all the combustibles away from your home, because this is where the embers will land. No mulch around the house and no piles of wood piles, etc. for your fire. Clearing all the litter from the ground and from your roof. It's important to prepare early. Preparation is the key to making buildings survive. Block drain pipes with a tennis ball or a sock full of sand and fill gutters with water. Don't forget to remove the blockage when the danger has passed.
Metal fly screens to stop the embers getting inside your house.
And have hose lines ready that can put out any ember attack. So if you've got a hose line that goes all around your home, you can quickly extinguish a small fire that's come from embers.
Always wear long sleeve shirts, jeans, covered shoes, goggles, and use respiratory protection such as a P3 mask. You can also make sure that there is no opportunity for the embers to get underneath your house. So this is sealing off under your house with fly screens or some sort of metal protection. If you do lots of really good yard work and have a nice, tidy back and front yard with no combustible material around your house, that really reduces the risk of ember attack. In a built-up suburb, it makes sense to work with other members of your community. Some of the things you can do are
prepare your home, but also help your neighbour prepare their home. If your home is well prepared and your neighbour's is not, you can often have fire transferring from one property to the other. Know your neighbour. Know who is vulnerable and who is resilient. You can help the vulnerable, and the resilient can work with you to attain the goals.
Also work with your local fire service. They can provide you great resources and support to help prepare for bushfire season. There's also community resilience grants available. You can use this money to help prepare your community for bushfire season. In my experience, resilient communities recover so much faster from natural disasters. I worked with Disaster Relief Australia in Tathra. We had a really good community recovery committee, and their recovery was the best I've ever seen.
There are some important considerations when you live in a suburban area. For most people who live in suburban areas, you won't have to leave. But if you have a family or household situation where you have vulnerable people or young children, you should definitely think about leaving when you have an alert from your fire service or you have catastrophic fire danger.
Other things to consider is how well your property is prepared. If you haven't prepared your property well, then that's also another trigger to leave. Most ember attacks can be well protected with a garden hose if you get there fast enough. However, if you are leaving, you need to know where the fire is coming from and what direction you plan to leave in.
If you do decide to leave, you should take into account safer places. Safer places are where local councils and fire services have identified an area that will be much safer than your home. This might include schools, clubs, or areas where there's sporting fields where there's large cleared areas. These can be an area you can very quickly go to and be relatively safe. Bushfires are random. Even well-prepared homes can be lost to bushfire.
However, doing the right preparation greatly improves the chance of you saving your home.
For more useful tips on bushfire preparedness, click the link in our bio.